Hello and welcome to Bites and Strides with Prachi. Hope you are practicing whatever we have learned till date. Our previous session, we studied the while loop, and yes, we continue our discussion with the control flow statements. So, very first today we start with the for loop. So, Python has two kinds of loops. First is the while loop, and the second loop that we are going to study is the for loop. A for loop is a very compact loop. So we see how it works. So mainly a for loop was designed to iterate over a sequence like a list, tuple, or dictionary. However, friends, we still have not studied about collections. So what we are going to do is we are going to learn for loop with a very special function called range function. So this is the range function, and as you can see, it takes three parameters: start, stop, and step. Let's understand this with an example. Here we take a Python file for what? So say we want to print numbers from 1 to 10. How are we going to do that using a for loop? So we have for keyword. Any variable, say I, and now my I wants to go from 1 to 5. So I say in range and I give 1, comma 5. What I expect is it should print hello 5 cubes. That's what we expect. Let us execute this and see what happens. You will notice hello will be printed 1, 2, 3 and 4 times only. However, I want it to print 5 times. The reason is the start value is included, but the stop value is excluded. That's how we need to give 6 here so that 5 is included. The default step value is going to be 1. So let us rerun this and we will see. Okay, now I get the correct output. Hello gets printed 5 times. Similarly, if I want to write a code which prints, say, numbers from 1 to 10, okay? So using the for loop, so let's see how it's going to work. For, say, x in range 1, comma 11 this time because we want 10 to come. So print x. That's how. It's a very simple and a compact loop. You can see numbers displayed between 1 to 10. Let's try with a different step value. Suppose I say for you have to start at 10 and you have to end at 0. Now the step value has to be given as minus 1 because 10 becomes 9 when I subtract 1 from it, right? So this is going to print 10 to 1. So that's how for loop works. In the while loop, we need to be careful in order to increment or decrement our counter. Whereas in the for loop, the default step value happens to be 1. The next part that we are going to take up is the loop's interruption. We want to terminate the loop before, the terminating condition arrives. Okay. So for that, we are going to use 3 different statements. You can see break and continue. We'll talk about pass as well. So let's do something really interesting. Let's make a game this time. Okay. So I want to create a game wherein in 3 chances, I want the user to guess a lucky number. So say my lucky number is 78. I ask the user to enter or to guess the lucky number and I give him 3 chances. So say I take a for loop for chance in range 1, comma 4. The step value is going to be 1. 4 will be excluded. So in that situation, we are going to give him 3 chances. So I say, okay, number equal to int input, guess the number. Guess the lucky number. At the same time, I am going to print the chance that is given. Chance CH. Chance CH, you please guess the lucky number. That's what I say. Now, I want to check whether the number entered is equal to the lucky number. If number equals lucky number, I'm going to say print you guessed it right. Right? You guessed it right. Else I'm going to continue with the loop. Alright. So let's execute this much of a code. So lucky number is 78. For chance in range 1 to 4, first chance, guess the number. If number equals lucky number, you guess it right. Let's see what happens when I execute this. Chance 1, guess 35. Chance 2, guess. As you can see, I have guessed the lucky number in the second chance. You guessed it right. As you can see, we don't need to give the third chance. I want to terminate this loop even before, giving the 3 chances. So, when I want to jump out of the loop, we can use this statement called break. Remember, break is not going to terminate if. Break is going to jump out of the loop. Jump out of the loop and not out of if. So you can see here, if I guess the lucky number in the first chance, it is going to come out of the loop and not give me the second chance. I don't need the second chance. So break is going to terminate the loop in which it is written. Let's take one more simple example for break. So we have BR. 1. Say I have a loop for I in range 1, 10. S equal to I multiplied by I, S bar square, and then we print I and a colon and the square. So a very simple program. This is going to go from 1 to, of course, here not 10 but 11. So it's going to go from 1 to 10. I'm going to find the square and print it. So as we can see, it's going to print the square of all numbers between 1 to 10. The square of 1 is 1, square of 2 is 4, and so on. Okay? Say I want to skip this. I don't want to do it for 4. So I can say if I is 4, you please break. In that case, my loop will terminate when I becomes equal to 4. So ultimately, the output is going to be the square of 1, 2, and 3. Why? Because at 4, I just jumped out of the loop. So I think 2 examples are more than sufficient for us to understand the concept of break. Let's modify this a bit. What I say this time is, instead of break, I say continue. Continue. What is continue going to do? Let's execute this and then we will discuss about it. So if you can see here, it's creating the square of 1, 2, 3. It skipped it for 4 and then it continued from 5 to 10. So what is continue doing? For this particular condition, it is skipping this iteration. It will not execute whatever is written below continue and it will travel to the next iteration. So continue will continue the loop with the next iteration and it is not going to execute it for this particular statement. Let's make it a little more, interesting by saying if I is 4 and then we learned this or I is 8. So now what is going to happen? The squares of 4 and 8 will not be coming and it will say 1, 2, 3, 4 is not there, 5, 6, 7, 8 is not there and 9, 10 are there. Pass is something like a blank statement. I don't want to do anything. I just want to skip, So we'll talk more about past when we are going to learn the next topic, that is functions. So that time I will be talking about past. So yes, friends, this is about loops and if. So in the control flow statements, what did we learn? We learned if, while, for, and we learned about loops interruption. In the next session, we go one step ahead and we will learn about nested loops. So keep practicing and I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye.